Oh my God, this bit here, that tendon there. Oh, that is unbelievable.
And do you get,
it's gonna snap.
And your elbows?
Elbows.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Right here. So do you want to start with telling us about which chronic illnesses you have?
Yes. So I have fibromyalgia, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, endometriosis, atrial tachycardia, and I also have MTHFR gene mutation, which is very rare and the mutation itself can lead to different chronic illnesses.
Wow.
Yeah. How did you find that out like what symptoms did you have that then led to
so mutation? I was passing out frequently, losing consciousness, just feeling extremely dizzy and falling and hitting my head. And so I started by going to a cardiologist, and then from there I saw a slew of different doctors and specialists just trying to figure out what's wrong. And then you know how it goes with chronic illnesses.
Yeah. Oh my God. And how long have you had all of this going on? Like, is this something new? Has this been a long time?
So the fibromyalgia, I have had symptoms since I was 12 years old. And I was diagnosed with POTS back in 2014.
So guys, just quickly, the reason I got Kacie on was because we wanted everyone out there that didn't know about chronic illnesses to get some more knowledge and understanding and maybe empathy for people around you that do have it, to give you a better understanding. And also because I also suffer with 4 chronic illnesses, and so I felt like, oh my God, I'm not alone. And so we wanted to have Kacie on for people out there that do have chronic illnesses as well, so that you guys know that you're not alone.
And I don't know what this is like at all.
Exactly.
So I'm going to be asking all the questions that I would ask normally anyway, because I have no understanding of what you guys go through or what it feels like or what the symptoms are.
How would you, unless like we talk about these things and we share our stories, how would you know?
Right. Why don't you guys start with, so what is fibromyalgia? What does it feel like? Like, we can start there, because I have no idea what it is.
Well,
I've
heard of it. I just don't know what it is.
So I have fibromyalgia, POTS, same as you, POTS, visual snow syndrome, and I have a FND, which is a functional neurological disorder. So we both have 4, don't we? Do you have 4 as well?
Yes.
What a pair. Oh my God. So those things are, in short, fibromyalgia is usually caused from trauma, some kind of emotional or physical trauma to the body. Not always, but that's kind of the majority. The brain doesn't know how to get rid of the pain because it gets used to it, and something in the brain is not sending the right signals. Do you want to add?
And then just overactive nerves, and there's tender points on our bodies.
Oh, yeah, they're so tender. Oh my God.
Yes, and
there's 18 points in the body that that's how they detect fibromyalgia. Is those 18 points will be agony, even if you just do that.
Really?
It's like
the specific points.
Yeah.
What do you feel right now? Like, are you just hurting all over?
Yes. So chronic fatigue, which I know Charlie has as well. So just feeling extremely exhausted and in pain in all of the tender points.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like you've actually been injected with what I feel like I've been injected with, loads of sleeping tablets when I wake up, and it's like this heavy feeling as if you can't get out of bed. You're just wiped out.
Like you're sick.
No energy, no matter how much sleep you've had.
It's like a flu.
It's like a flu, but without
flu on crack.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Oh, that sounds miserable.
Flu on crack. That's great. That is what I feel like sometimes. And it'll be out of nowhere. Like, you could be in the best mood the night before, and it can catch you off guard, and the next morning you'll be like, oh my God. Like, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think it goes hand in hand, like with emotions and...
Oh God, yeah. Are you very emotional, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because it's very common in empaths, and on the spiritual side of things, I've been doing work on that side rather than just the medicine side, and they say it's very common in empaths and highly sensitive women and emotional people.
Yes.
So then what's POTS syndrome?
So POTS is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And what that boils down to is when you change positions, so say that I go from sitting to standing, the blood doesn't fluctuate.
The blood vessels don't.
So do you see the spots?
Right
like sometimes when you have to bend over, like, whew, you guys get that all the time.
Black.
Yes.
Like
wow.
the whole has just gone black, and you're like, okay.
So do you have to get up
this close to
slowly,
fainting,
or do you just have to be aware of it whenever you're doing movement? Like, can you exercise with it?
Yes,
but it's
You both are like
it's very regulated exercises.
You don't want to just be suddenly sprinting like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just
so like water therapy or like yoga, like what?
Those are mine too.
That's good.
Yes. You got it.
Learning.
So you're
Did
like,
you do the tilt table test?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the tilt table test?
The tilt
see
table
how bad it
test.
is.
They basically lie you on a table and strap you to it,
mm-hmm.
and then they'll tilt you. And
whilst they've like linked you all up to
Yes,
have your blood
yes.
pressure, your
Like
pulse,
sensors and stuff?
sensors,
Okay.
so they can see how bad it is when they suddenly move you
so
up.
how much your
God.
heart rate will
increase.
So they did that, and the nurse told me that I had the record for passing out the quickest.
What?
Because I like lost consciousness on the
Oh my
table.
God. Yeah, any of you out there that have POTS, we feel you. Definitely.
Yes.
It's really. Do you have the vibrations? Do you have the internal tremors?
Oh yes. It's
So my worst
bad.
symptom is Jess. So as you know, Jess is my bestie, and I cry to her all the time about this. My worst symptoms when it comes to my POTS and fibromyalgia is this 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, where my entire body feels like there's a vibration going off inside, like a small earthquake, and it does not stop. There's no peace from it. I have to sleep on a vibrating bed, and I have to go and sit in a car to have the engine relieve my symptoms,
Because the shaking
the
makes you feel
shaking of the
normal.
engine in the car distracts me from my own pain, or my own discomfort, should I say. But yeah, like last night when I was lying in bed, I had tears in my eyes because I was just lying there, and it felt like your head's buzzing, every piece of your body is just going like this, and no one else can see it, and it's that really gets me down.
The way that I describe, I'm not sure if my pain is that same type of pain, but how I describe it to people is the feeling of when your feet fall asleep and it's numb and tingly.
Yeah, I get that.
But all over.
Like when you say pins and needles, I'm like, that's uncomfortable for 20 seconds, let alone the whole day.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you also have, do you guys have the same visual snow?
I don't.
You're lucky.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was to say you're lucky to have that. No, you're not, because you have the other stuff.
So we have more to
sorry.
cover.
Yeah. So visual snow syndrome, for anyone else that has it, and this is actually going to be interesting because a lot of people don't know they have it, and apparently it's only just coming into the universe now. People are only just hearing what it is, and doctors are only just finding out that it's actually a thing. And it's where there's been so much stress to your body, emotionally, some kind of trauma, that your brain is so overactive that it's gone into overdrive, and it's a hypermetabolism of the brain. So it's just 24/7 going crazy, and because of that, it affects the nervous system and the autonomic nervous system, which is why it's commonly related to people with fibromyalgia and POTS syndrome as well. So that's good that you don't have that one, because it's quite a lot of people on the forum have all the other stuff we have too. But yeah, the worst symptoms that are you have a static field, like white noise in your vision field all the time. So right now the whole room is just
Like looks like static on a
like
TV.
looks like static, like woo, all in colour but static.
Right.
That's visual snow, and it comes out of nowhere. So whoever doesn't have it, just really, really, really use us as, in a nice way, to remember how lucky you actually are to have just normal stuff, normal
no
vision,
symptoms.
hearing, just no symptoms, which you totally take for granted until you have a crisis or a scare.
And it's so difficult to, like you said, you were recently diagnosed. Just even getting a diagnosis when you have all of these symptoms, I probably went to at least 50 different appointments.
Wow.
50?
Yeah, that's frustrating too, dealing with doctors who don't know what's wrong with you.
And you feel so misunderstood and lonely and scared.
And then I feel, like you said, lonely and misunderstood, but also like I doubt myself. Like, why is this? What is going on with me? Because nobody can see it. So there is a lot of doubt. So I always say to people who ask me, like, what's the best thing you can say to someone with a chronic illness?
Oh, yes, I was wondering.
And that's
the do's and the don'ts. And
I believe you is the most powerful thing for me because it's so hard dealing with all of these struggles that people can't see, and being businesswomen as we are, where we have to put a smile on and act fine, and
you don't want to be a peer. Do you have a thing as well about negative? You don't want to be constantly talking about it, or your friends to think you're really negative, or like you're a victim. Like you really don't want to be that. But when you've got it 24/7, it feels good not to. You want to get it off your chest.
Also, if I talk about it too much, I just get super depressed, and I just feel like I'm falling into a pit. Yeah. So it's definitely a balance game of needing someone to talk to and needing to tell someone about it.
But yeah, the worst is when you feel that someone. I hate it when someone just doesn't care. Or they don't believe me that I can, and I don't say anything, but obviously inside I'm like, you don't give a shit, or you don't get it. And how actually then again, some people, how can you?
Yeah, but that's not a reason. Like that's like, to me, it's like just because you don't understand something, even if it's not real. Let's say truly this is all in your head and you're actually fine. It's still real to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it's scientifically proven and diagnosed or whether it's not, that's still your reality.
Dating with chronic illnesses.
Yes.
I don't know how it is for you, but it's extremely difficult.
Definitely
Like
on that.
Even like at the movie, you know how guys will like, the yawn and reach, and that is so painful. Oops. It's so painful when
because it's your pressure points.
I don't even know if there are pressure points.
But it just hurts.
Unbelievably tight
it's
around all here.
Extremely painful. Yes.
Oh, no.
So I will tell people like
don't touch me.
Like I appreciate the gesture.
And you're so sweet. I can see you like, listen, can you please move your arm because this hurts?
And people laugh and they think I'm joking and I'm being 100% serious.
Being in a relationship with this, especially as it came on while I was in the relationship, so it wasn't like I could pre-warn before, and then it just kept getting worse and worse, and I did feel really lonely, and it was very difficult for him to understand, and he did try, but because again I look so normal, sometimes a big complex of mine was appearing lazy, but the basic things of just like cleaning the apartment or going to the shops or cooking was difficult, and I felt like people thought I was lazy.
My mom also has fibromyalgia, and
my brother does too, and it's hereditary. Apparently it's quite common to have in the family.
So she gave me a bit of advice that I've held on to, and she told me that she like one day she was feeling so horrible she couldn't even like do anything, and her accomplishment was that she picked the pillows up off the floor and put them on the bed. And she celebrated that I was able to pick a pillow up and put it where it goes.
And also you feel bad for your partner as well, because you feel like, oh my god, when's this going to end for them as well, because you're constantly going on about it, and your partner's the one that sees it 24/7.
And they do. I was with a guy for several years, and he was a big support system, but there were days where he's like, this is too much for me. And there were so many nights that I would stay up
all night crying. Oh my god,
just from being in pain. And there was one night where he started crying, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you. And I'm like, I don't know how to help myself.
So how do you date?
How do you date? Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like, do you?
I mean, I kind of don't.
That's only partly true. Change that.
Yeah, like I'll go on dates here and there, but
you're busy. You're a businesswoman.
Yes,
we'll say that's one.
Yeah. But I do find myself acting and not really opening up to people about what I'm actually going through.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that must be quite difficult. I'm the opposite. I probably am too open too quickly because I want to get it out there. So I'm like, just so you know.
I do that as well. Okay, so I do that as well.
Yeah.
Where I
But then they run a mile and then you're like, right, I shouldn't overshare.
Well, I always overshare, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I could totally handle this. And then I see that they can't handle it.
Right, okay.
And then
so
that's when I start to act.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder, is it common in men? Like, I wonder if dating somebody, I'm not saying a fibromyalgia Tinder, I'm just saying, like, I wonder if dating somebody who also is going through it would make it
disaster or better.
Disaster or your kids would either
this is a good team. We can really help each other out right now.
Right.
Can't move from bed.
I almost feel like I can only date people who don't have
any problems.
Yeah, because I'm like, how
you got enough for the two of you.
Yeah, like I don't know though. I mean, of course I'm not against it, but I think it's easier when
you still prefer somebody healthier.
Who's healthy, just because with everything I go through, how's it?
And also, little things
during
like
a flare up, like how, like you said, are both of us going to be in bed?
For people that have it, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just quickly go through anything that you have that might make them feel comforted, or that little techniques and tools, or things that you do that make you feel better about your life and yourself, perspectives, whatever you want.
Yeah, so what I do when I'm in a flare-up is I constantly remind myself that it's gonna get better. I'm gonna get out of it, because I always do.
Like, you're gonna probably get flared up again, but it's also gonna end.
Exactly.
So you're gonna get a break from it at some point.
Yeah, I have to focus on the break point. I don't see this as like poor me, this is horrible the rest of my life, chronic. I see it as, okay, this is a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a way to heal myself and
manage it along the way.
And I've gotten a lot better with managing it.
Okay.
So
what do you do? What things have you done to help manage it, just for people that maybe aren't managing it very well, or have partners that aren't coping well?
I started really diving into everything creative. So I draw, I paint, I write.
I saw your calligraphy. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It is very good. I was like, it's so satisfying to watch you do it. I was like,
it's so funny because I'll record my calligraphy. I'll do it with my right hand, and then I'll hold my iPhone up and just like record as I'm doing it.
You should have a whole Instagram of that. It's really satisfying. Is
it therapy for you? Like, doing that?
It is. But then again, there's days where my hands hurt too bad, and I can't even move my hands. And on those days, I just need to focus on anything positive I can come up with. If I can look outside and see a tree, or see the sun, or my
watch
dogs,
a movie, or eat food, enjoy food.
So I will go on Instagram for support, or to see other women and other people who are also dealing with chronic pain. And then there's also pages, chronic illness pages,
forums,
but some of them I will look at to laugh. Like, there's memes, there's a chronic illness cat, which is hilarious, but it's also depressing because
it's true.
Yes, exactly. And so I will look up the hashtag and look at all the memes, and I'll be laughing and crying at the same time.
So for the people that want to be more understanding of it, or have a friend with it, or be a better friend with someone that has it, seeing as I feel like you as a friend actually does handle it really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really do. I mean,
I get that from you, just sitting here with you. You're very understanding, and you care, and you can tell that your heart is open.
Yeah. Well, it's not, and it's not too much. It's not like you always feel guilty that you're putting too much on you.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what we go through, is constant guilt of I don't want to bring someone else down by telling them what I'm
doing. Or make it about me all the time. Because sometimes I'll be like, I've just talked about all my shit. Like, how's Jess? Is Jess okay?
Yeah.
But then my problem's when I tell you, I'm like, I'm
stressed
about stupid stuff. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to tell you because it seems insignificant.
It is.
No, tell me. But yeah, one thing I wanted to share was about how, and I think, I don't know, I've had a conversation lately, but it was about turning your struggle and suffering into your biggest blessing. Yeah, I think a lot of people I've noticed with illnesses have turned it actually into not their business, but if someone's been unwell, they've now gone down the health path and now they're like a health coach.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
So turning it into using it basically, using what you have for good, using what you have to enjoy your life more, and to turn it into a living and a blessing.
And I will say that there is a huge positive to suffering with chronic illnesses, is that we are so open and understanding and loving of all people, because we know what it feels like to be in constant pain.
Yes,
so
I
much
more empathy.
Yes, I feel like for myself, I am so just aware, and that's one really beautiful thing about dealing with chronic pain, is I think it really helps you help others and notice others suffering, and just be an ear to other people too.
Definitely.
And so I'm grateful for that.